Hey guys, and welcome back to the next instalment of the Arsenal career mode. Getting straight into it with this one, and we've just tied up a deal for Alvaro Morata from Juventus, so a very good signing there. Should be very exciting as we go into this game at Moulton Road for Middlesbrough versus Arsenal. An entertaining clash in our first game in the Capital One Cup, fielding a very inexperienced squad which has the likes of Joel Campbell, Jeff Renee, Adelaide, Callum Chambers, etc., just to name a few within the ranks, as well as the very talented and promising Alex Iwobi. Now, before we get into the basis of this video, I just wanted to apologise very briefly that this video is coming a bit later in contrast to the previous FIFA uploads. Have been incredibly pushed for time, and it's a real struggle just getting one of these out a week, let alone two, which I'd previously mentioned doing. So I think I'm going to make Friday the guaranteed upload schedule for these. This one's coming out earlier on the week on the respective Monday, but hopefully every single Friday I'll be able to get one of these out for you to enjoy, hopefully, if you are enjoying these, of course. Please do let me know what you think of these in the comments box below, because I have had some mixed opinions on them, but as long as you're enjoying them, that gives me a motive to make them. As you can see, Middlesbrough on the attack first and foremost, having a good chance through Ledbitter, who has the best chance on goal, but nothing to struggle Ospina as of yet. Christian Bielik, another inexperienced player in amongst the ranks, and he plays off to Matthew Debussy. Campbell playing into Olivier Giroud, turns his man, plays it through his legs and into the back of the net. 8 minutes in, 1-0. Olivier Giroud, a forgotten man somewhat in this Arsenal career mode, considering that we've barely played him. We've now put in Morata, we've got Danny Welbeck, we've got Theo Walcott. I don't know where Giroud's going to fit into this Arsenal striking force, but given that he's just gotten off the mark in this game, making a very good case for himself as to why he should be starting games for us. That was an absolutely beautiful goal. And here he is on the ball yet again, and he's going to play into Christian Bielik. He got there in the end. Adelaide has been played in by Bielik. Bielik plays in Adelaide once again. He has a chance on goal, which he plays right to the keeper, and it's in the back of the net, following a decent save from the Middlesbrough keeper. And Adelaide will not care how scruffy that goal is. He's gotten off the mark in the Capital One Cup, which is going to mean a great deal to his confidence, and hopefully that will set him up for the season. Hopefully we'll be seeing many goals, much more spectacular goals, I would hope, from Adelaide in this Arsenal career. But I believe he can play a big part in everything we do this season. Middlesbrough on the attack once more through Stuani. Probably said that wrong, but I've given him my best go. Now it's Adma. Probably said that wrong. He plays it into Downing, who was never going to get anywhere near that cross. That was diabolical. But here we go with Olivier Giroud yet again. He's seeing a lot of the ball in this game. He takes it past one man, and he has an opportunity to play it into the box to Bielik, who has a very good chance on goal, but it's saved by the keeper. A very good save of that. And we've got a corner here. Plays it short to Alex Iwobi, who takes it past one, skips into the box, plays in a lovely dink ball to Joel Campbell. Free header, 3-0. Not even half time yet, and Arsenal absolutely running riot in this game. A goal for Joel Campbell, who points to his knee, even though he scored with his head. That just sums up Campbell in more ways than one. Anyway, that's a lovely goal by Joel Campbell. They've been few and far between his Arsenal career. And at half-time, going to bring on Alvaro Morata for Olivier Giroud. Giroud does not look happy to be substituted at half-time, along with fellow striker Danny Welbeck. It's a chance for Morata to prove himself. And here he is on the ball. Arsenal's new number 9, right at the keeper. Decent effort there by Morata, already proving to be invaluable to this Arsenal side. Campbell on the ball once again. His pace could be devastating in this game, but he's played in a lovely ball to Morata, who's taken it past two players, and a tidy, cool finish into the back of the net to get a goal on his debut. It's in the Capital One Cup. That's not going to bother him in the slightest. He's gotten off the mark in his Arsenal career, and hopefully this will be the first of many for Alvaro Morata, our new signing from Juventus. And just look at that goal. Absolute beauty past the keeper. Had no chance. And as things have been going so well for us, we're going to be very naughty and actually up the difficulty in this game to world class, which, in my opinion, for someone of my calibre and a FIFA stature, is very audacious. We've got our next game up against Newcastle United away from home, and this will really give us a good tester of what this world-class difficulty is going to play out like for Arsenal. Like I say, it's not something that I've gambled with too much in the past. I remember that I seem to really struggle to break teams down when I did it, so that's why I've kind of eased off of doing it. And generally, at the end of the day, I want to make entertaining videos rather than just have boring 0-0 draws all the time. So that's why I was a bit reluctant to use world class in the start. But as we've been rather convincing to the start of the season, I figured I would up the ante, as it were, and hopefully the results will continue to flood our way. Now, one change I have made going into this game is Alvaro Morata, who's going to be playing up top, as opposed to Theo Walcott, who's been predominantly playing there for us this season. Although I have left Walcott in the starting 11 and moved him over to the right-hand side with Alexis Sanchez on the left. Loads of pace going forward with a big target man in the middle. this could be absolutely devastating in this game. I'm thoroughly looking forward to seeing how that front three performs with Sanchez, Morata and Theo Walcott. With Ozil in behind, with the midfield pivot of Ramsey and Coughlin, this team can really do something in this game. But it's Newcastle going forward. First of all, Sim de Jong plays into Jack Callback. The Ginger Perlo has an effort that troubles Czech, but it's a great save nonetheless. And here comes their new signing of the summer from Anderlecht, the young Mitrovic, who actually looks about 30 years old despite being in his early 20s. And that's a very poor challenge from Aaron Ramsey, and I think that's Haidara, but it's very poor nonetheless, and it sees him get a red card, which is not what we wanted at the start of this game. Only 15 minutes in and Ramsey has already been red carded. Coughlin getting in on the beefy action, he's having none of it, he's protesting, but Ramsey is going to be, I think you could say, rightly sent off given the disgustingness of that challenge there. But the captain on the day is sent off, gives Arsenal an uphill battle, but can we go on to win this game? And it's Morata really making a good case for that now. He's just won the ball in the Newcastle half, skips past a couple of players and has put it coolly past Tim Krul. A very, very succulent finish there for Morata. 2 goals in 2. Hasn't even played a full 90 minutes of football yet. And it's a very exciting start to his Arsenal career. Great effort there to be in the right place at the right time to cut out a pass from the Newcastle defender. And then a tidy finish past Tim Krul. Great work there by Santi Cazorla to win the ball back. As Alexis Sanchez on the ball this time, playing it into Coughlin, who's a bit high up given where he normally plays. And it's Morata on the ball once again, who's going to play into the substitute who's just come on, Santi Cazorla. Lovely hold-up play there. And it's 2 for Morata. Another very delicate finish. Now 3 goals in 2 games. Hasn't completed 90 minutes yet. Unbelievable from Morata, proving to be a really great signing. And given he's still very young in his career, there is a lot to come from him, and hopefully linking up with the likes of Walcott and Sanchez will really further his career in this game. I wonder how well he'd do for Arsenal in a realistic aspect. Here we have Tiote on the ball, playing it into Ayoze Perez, who's always a danger, so fast, so nimble, and Tiote on the ball once again with a lovely ball into Wijnaldum, who recently scored 4 goals in Newcastle's 6-2 defeat of Norwich, which is an absolutely outstanding achievement for Wijnaldum, and proving to rack up the goals tally here with a consolation, you would hope, in the dying stage of this game. But they are breaking forward once more. Gabriel conceding a foul in the 85th minute. Hopefully Newcastle won't take advantage of this. And it looks like it's going to be Mohamed Sissoko to line up over this one. Wijnaldum with the dummy. Sissoko taking a very big run up. And that does trouble check in the end. But Gabriel collects rather calmly and plays it out from the back with a rather barnstorming run. He's taking it forward with loads of pace. You'd think he's Alexis Sanchez given the way he's playing. He's got Morata up there with him, who he plays it into. Morata with a very cheeky back heel into Nacho Monreal, who's got very little pace left about him, but he plays the ball in nonetheless. Morata should be getting on the end of that, but it's cut out by Colaccini. In the end, a 2-1 win to the Arsenal, and we move on to our next game against Stoke City. Given the run of play in that game against Newcastle, then we were down to 10. Given it's my first game on World Class in a good long while, especially on this game, I haven't played on World Class yet. I think I've done really well, to be fair, especially as I only had 10 men. But Stoke at home, given the standings in the table, given that they're just 1 point behind us, we are still leading the league standings as it is. But Stoke are going to be a tough opposition in this game. I've gone with a rather audacious lineup. I've selected Theo Walcott to play up top. Not started Morata in this game, to your surprise, given that he scored so many in his couple of opening games. But I think Walcott and Chamberlain are going to be the more preferable option in this game to get at this Stoke defence, really exploit some of their slower players. As you can see there, Chamberlain, Walcott and Sanchez. Hopefully that front three will be absolutely devastating in this game. It's a very exciting team. Reverted back to the Cazorla and Coughlin pivot, given that Aaron Ramsey is suspended for this game. So we'll see how well that holds up against the very exciting Stoke midfield, which boasts the like of Van Ginkel and Zaydan Shaqiri, which is just a great name, Zaydan Shaqiri. As you can see, here's their team. They've got Bohan, Arnautovic, Glenn Whelan, the ever so mighty Stephen Sidwell. So yeah, it should be a good, interesting game. Here we are on the attack. Mesut Ozil playing it into Hector Bellerin, him into Chamberlain. Walcott with a chance on goal here, loses the ball quite sadly to Bohan, and Stoke play it away with ease. Juve having a good chance on goal here, an absolute pop shot, which actually forces a good effort from Petr Cech, a very good save there. One half-time substitution, Morata coming on for Chamberlain. Can he influence the game in any way? Well, we'll just wait and have to find out. Unfortunately, he doesn't. It's a 0-0 draw. 0 shots. Not just shots on target, but 0 shots in general. Absolutely devastating well, devastating is not probably the right word. Disgusting from Arsenal. Absolutely vile performance there against Stoke, and we come away. Some say we might be lucky to come away with a 0-0 draw, but taking that into this game away from home against Bayer Leverkusen is not really the atmosphere we wanted to be going into this important Champions League match in. Very disappointing against Stoke, but hopefully we can rectify things in the Champions League against Bayer Leverkusen. Of course, we want to get off to a better start than Arsenal have in real life, losing to the likes of Dynamo Zagreb and Olympiacos respectively, and with an upcoming game against Bayern Munich, I dread to think how Arsenal are going to end in the group stages. But it's an exciting team with a lot of rotation. I've got a front three of Morata, Danny Welbeck and Alexis Sanchez, which boasts a lot of pace, a lot of power, a lot of big bodies in the box to oust the strong defence that Bayer Leverkusen have got, and still a lot of pace going forward. As you can see, Bayer Leverkusen having a good chance here on goal through Keebling, forces a decent save from Cech, who collects it rather calmly. Morata here on the ball, trying to get past this Leverkusen defence. That's an awful sliding challenge there from the defender. He plays in across to Ozil, who should have done a little bit better there. Would rather have had Morata in that position or Danny Welbeck. Arguably, Ozil's not the best in the air, as we all know. Wilshere with a very similar challenge to the one that Ramsey made in the game against Newcastle, and I can't help but feel I know what's going to come here. And surprise, surprise, Jack Wilshere has been sent off in the 28th minute of the game. So we've got a very difficult task here if we're going to win this game. Wilshere making his frustrations known there, but there is no doubt in my mind that that is a clear red card. Awful challenge, trying to compensate for all the injuries that he's had to himself and take it out on other players, but shouldn't be doing that, Jack. That's not the way to go about things. Having a good chance on goal here. Aaron Ramsey collecting the ball in midfield after a decent effort. Debuchy now on the ball, playing into Danny Welbeck, who's going to try and cut in. Plays it back to Debuchy. Ramsey on the ball once more to Morata, who's lost it in midfield, and they play it away with ease. Now it's Lars Bender on the ball. He's enjoying some spells in midfield. I don't even know who that is, but I'm struggling to pronounce his name. But Keebling ends up putting the ball in the back of the net after a lovely threaded ball through the guy who I can't pronounce. Rather a disconcerting, I don't know, what's the word? There's a word for something, but it's a worrying celebration out from Keebling, rather scary. Essences of the Heath Ledger Joker. I don't know if it might just be me that sees that from him, but nonetheless, we move on. 1-0 down. It's not how we envisaged this game panning out, but in the 88th minute, we've got Walcott going forward. Hopefully he can at least grab something from this game for Arsenal, but an awful ball straight to the Leverkusen centre half, and it's Chamberlain with what should be the last chance of the game in the 92nd minute. Will he be the difference maker? With passes like that, he most certainly won't be. It ends 1-0 to Leverkusen. The worst possible start that we could have had. Again, very few shots on goal. I don't know if there were any there. I didn't even get to have a chance to look. But anyway, guys, that's been my next instalment of the Arsenal career mode. Please leave a like on the video if you have enjoyed it. Subscribe to AFC Game by Game. Let me know your thoughts on this Arsenal career mode. What do you want to see me change up going into the future of this? And yeah, just generally let me know your thoughts.